What's up, everybody? John from Old Reading Farm here, and today, no girls allowed in this video. Just turn it off. Just kidding. Love you guys. And girls are totally allowed. It's just a joke. Definitely not clickbait. But we are going to be talking about what Catherine affectionately calls the man zone, which is not a euphemism. It's the name of, like, the John zone, where deep in the woods I go to do, how you say, man things. Also, look at that beautiful sunset. But anyway, so I hope you all had a great Christmas if you celebrate it, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Hope you had a good one. If you don't celebrate anything, happy Friday. So anyway, I am pretty happy because back here over the past few weeks, I have been slowly trying to organize my stuff. And by stuff, I mean logs. So we had a bunch of trees taken down up near our house, where my mother-in-law's house is going to be built. And the company who took them down was nice enough to bring any saw logs or carving logs down to the John zone. So this is what the road looks like now. Previously, it was filled with logs. And so I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to kick the ladies out was because I didn't think that they would really be interested in it. But here we go. So I have, let me count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 or 10 giant piles of logs back here. And to a lot of you that may seem dumb, and to Catherine, who's not been back here, I'm sorry that I have so many logs, but at least you can't see them from the house. Anyway, so let me tell you about my wood. Let me tell you about these logs. So this pile right here is, and before I get into it, so I did actually do this with purpose. When I first set up the sawmill, we had set it up, right where we were gonna build the alpaca house, because we had thought when I placed the order, it was like 4 to 12 weeks delivery, and it showed up in 2 weeks. So that was, surprising. But now, it's got its own designated area. So it's nice. And I've cleared out this area over here to make a nice big location where I can store logs. But, especially now because I'm doing chainsaw carving, it's helpful to have a spot where all my logs are stored. So anyway, this pile right here is extra big, and it's filled with logs that are either like too curvy to easily run through the mill, or like that one up there is too big, and I'm going to use that to chainsaw carve. But my chainsaw carving, I don't have enough room for it anyway. So this is a combination. But so I'm going to call this my project logs, because what I'd like to do is see that, like this one right here, where it's got that swoop, I'd like to cut that section out and mill it so that I have like a curved piece of wood that I can make a sign out of. Because we have our laser engraver, and I'd like to be able to make some, cool looking laser engraved signs. So everybody has like those straight signs. I want to do some cool curved live edge signs. And now this pile right here, this is my prime softwood pile, which again, there's just so many things that are not euphemisms. I promise I'm not doing it on purpose. So this front one was actually in our neighbor's yard, and he had it cut down. It's a nice straight pine. And then we have some hemlock and spruce, and I think another hemlock. And this is basically where I have really nice, straight, long lengths of pine and spruce softwoods, that kind of thing. That should make it, nice, easy, long boards. Because the thing, with those curved boards, and even you look at this one right here has a curved butt, but I can cut it right there and still have a nice length. So you're going to lose a lot of board feet when you have to cut through that, because that line has to cut through the curve. But anyway, so cutting curved logs is like way more difficult than cutting straight ones. And so like you can get much more boards out of the straight ones than the curved ones. Now this one over here is my project pile 2.0. I started this with mostly cherry because I thought that this was going to be my cherry pile. And I also have, so this one right here is actually a sugar maple that I think should have some nice spalting in it, so that should look cool. But then I also have this one right here is an ambrosia maple. So you can see those dark spots. So those dark spots are where the ambrosia beetle got into the wood and made some dark markings. So when I mill that, that should come out looking pretty cool. But again, like everything in here, this is a sugar maple too. And again, so that was ambrosia maple. This one, so this is the same thing. So it has spalting in it, which is really just a discoloration of the wood. But when you mill it, it comes out with some really cool markings. So that was the goal there. And then same thing here. So I got a bunch of, curved logs, but these are smaller ones. And I started with mostly cherry. But we'll see what we get from here. So these are like the sort of things where, maybe I could make something out of it, maybe not. Whereas this is like, these are great. Then I had originally set this up a while ago, but now this is a bunch of black walnut that I have. And so this is really prized wood because it's so dark. I don't know if you watched our video a while ago, you saw I tried to make cookies. That didn't come out too great. But anyway, so that should be good to hopefully just slab and sell. This is all poplar, which is, again, like, I love milling poplar. It comes out it mills so well, and it always grows nice and straight. So you look at those, and that's what I build the emu house out of, which you can see over there. So looking forward to some more poplar logs. Now, over here, this is where I'm currently just storing some chainsaw carving logs. And these are gigantic. So like, I can't do anything with this. Can't make really firewood out of pine or spruce or hemlock, which is what these all are. But I got them here. So I am going to try and make some big carvings and see what happens. What's the worst thing that can happen? And then over here, this is basically my next up pile. So in the front here, I have some white oak logs that got dropped off to me, which are good. So these are going to be that I'm making the fence posts for building the new alpaca pasture. Because white oak is super rot resistant and gets super hard. So that's like really good for fence posts. And I actually have some milled up and underweight right here. They bowed a little bit when I milled them. So I have them underweight, so hopefully they'll dry straight. And I'm actually got to get those in the ground soon before they get too hard. Anyway, there's another pile of wood, some more wood. And then recently, I built this platform for my chainsaw carving station. I put that over here. So this is where it's at right now. And it's just a little platform, and I used some reclaimed materials on the bottom and some sawmilled poplar on top for the floorboards. And it's working out pretty good. So I'm gonna take a quick detour and show you guys how I built this platform, and then I'll be right back. All right, so excited to be able to start using that. I actually just chainsaw carved two trees that people had commissioned on my old setup, which was a bit of a pain in the butt. But anyway, going forward, it'll be nice. And then the last log pile, which is over here, is gonna be for firewood. Now, my initial thought has always been to sell firewood just because we have so many logs. And even, you get the little ones that are like that one right there. I don't want to mill that. That'll take up too much time to get so little board out of it. But I can make firewood out of that pretty easy. And so I already bucked up a bunch of it. My log splitter is currently being used. But also we are going to be putting a wood stove downstairs in our house rather than the pellet stove, because we want to make sure that we can, you know, if the power goes out, even though we have a generator, we want to be able to have something where it's like, if there's no power, we can still have heat. Also, we're getting a new garage floor done, which is my Christmas present. So it had previously been dirt, and it's been dirt for 2 years now. But we're finally pouring a new slab on it so I can get like a workshop and everything in there. It's been really nice, you know, having like the chainsaw carvings do so well, because now it's just sort of like it validates spending money on stuff. And now I'll have like a workshop, and hopefully this laser engraved stuff will be a good, you know, secondary part of the chainsaw carving, because we're going to do a whole bunch of craft shows during the summer with, you know, just me going with my wood stuff. So if I have chainsaw carvings and the signs, we found with alpacas and craft shows, it really makes sense to diversify. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video, you guys. Thanks for joining me for a tour of the man cave, man woods, man zone. I don't know. We got to come up with a better name for this area. The lumber yard. You guys are creative. Do you guys have any cool names for what we can call this zone? You know, whether it's John. I can't even talk now. But anyway, so this is going to be our last video of 2022. And I really want to thank you guys. We wouldn't be here without you, obviously. But, you know, our channel has grown tremendously, and I want to thank everybody who subscribed, everybody who watches my stupid little videos. I appreciate you. We love you. Thanks for coming on this journey with us. And if you have any cool names for this area, leave them down in the comments below. Maybe I'll make a sign and hang it. See you later.